Excuse me. I'm just gonna wait for people. Hello, 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 welcome. Hello, welcome. um, excuse me. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. If you're new, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And we are just gonna be talking about Season of Torture. Because I don't know what the plan is. I don't know the next plan for Season of Torture. But I love the name Harley. But yeah. Not too sure about that, but I just wanted to do I thought about doing a video about Season of Torture so far, but I was like, you know what? It's probably better that I do a live of about Season of Torture or my Season of Torture. Hello. And one thing I want to emphasize is what? I'm confused. I have to go take your dogs out? Or you have to go take your dogs out? It's all good. If you're new, please like, share, subscribe. And we're gonna talk about Season of Torture because I don't know what I want to do. I have some options, but I don't know if they are good options for Season of Torture this year. Although I am in this live, I am going to be ranking my the Season of Torture, the shows and stuff I have reviewed for Season of Torture in the past, which is kind of about to go on its 5th season right now. But yeah. Okay. Let's rank the season of torture um from worst to eh, watchable. Okay, starting off the bat. I think I've watched at least 11 things for Season of Torture. Happy Tuesday, even though it's almost Wednesday. Um, I think I've watched maybe no. I think I've watched about 20 things of in total. But hello, welcome. If you're new, please like, share, subscribe, and um let me know first before I do anything else. I want to know what show what what show you think I should review for Season of Torture season 5, cuz I started Season of Torture back in 2020, and I think it's a pretty successful run so far. With that being said, let's go with the worst, okay? Let's go with the worst, okay? The worst, in my opinion, is Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven is worse. Is like the worst show you can possibly watch. Okay, it was. I don't even know how I managed to get through all 11 seasons of Seventh Heaven, but I managed to get it done by the grace of the gods. Don't know how, but man, it was terrible. It was pure terrible. Like, I don't even know how I managed to do it. But man, it was something. Each season, each episode baffled me. Literally baffled me. I don't even. Now, going to the next worst Season of Torture thing I've watched was Seventh Heaven. I mean, not Seventh Heaven. Touched by an Angel. Now, mind you, this was a part of the shortest season of Season of Torture, but there was a lot of things going on at the time. But this particular show, I mean, granted, I have some personal things with this show. Now, don't get me wrong. Touched by an Angel was my great grandmother's favorite show. for some odd reason. And if she's watching me talk about Touched by an Angel and saying it was one of the worst, she might come at me from beyond and slap me. But it's totally worth it. Love you. Love you. But anyways, Touched by an Angel is by far one of the worst seasons or shows I've ever watched for season of torture. It's it's on the same level of Seventh Heaven, but it's just pure horrendousness. Now, 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 I don't even remember all of Seventh Heaven. I mean, not Seventh Heaven. Touched by an Angel. I remember bits and pieces of it, but I remember, like, kind of watching it when I was a kid. But yeah, I don't really remember it. Also, when I watched it for Season of Torture, season 3, it was literally off the back of Seventh Heaven, cause I mean it's not as terrible as Seventh Heaven, but it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible, and like what like also the reason I stopped watching Touched by an Angel on that one was because I found out that I was watching it out of order. So yeah. It was crazy when I watched it on Paramount Plus at the time. Now, getting to the next worst thing for Season of Torture. Beverly Hills 90210. It's not the worst. It's slightly more. It's slightly better than Touched by an Angel and Seventh Heaven, but not much better. It's literally not much better. It's like, yes, it's pure 90s, which, if you're a 90s baby or a 90s kid, it's something to be like, oh, yeah, this is pure 90s nostalgia, all right? But it's okay. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's not totally the worst, you know? If that makes sense. Although, may she rest in peace, Sharon, may she rest in peace. She was, and Luke Perry, may May they rest in peace. Um, from what I saw of or from Beverly Hills 90210, it was they were decent. It's a decently okay show for what it's worth and the time it came out. Like, hell, it's pure freaking 90s. Okay, it is pure freaking 90s. But if you're a 90s baby or a 90s kid, you might enjoy the 90ness of it. You know, same thing with Touched by an Angel or Seventh Heaven. If you're a 90s baby and you watched Seventh Heaven or grew up on Seventh Heaven or Touched by an Angel or Beverly Hills 90210, and you want these and you're looking for nostalgia, uh, nostalgic, go down nostalgic memory lane or whatever, I don't know, then go ahead, watch those shows, you know, for nostalgia and like embrace your inner 90s-ness, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I don't really know, but it's it's definitely something. It's definitely something. I do have to say. But yeah. Beverly Hills 90210. Intriguing show. Very, very intriguing show. Now, let's talk about the most interesting parts of Season of Torture. I Jen Jandale? Who's Jandale? Can I give Candy Blossom Jandale? I don't know who Jandale is. Blossom Jandale. I don't know who that is. But um hello, welcome. Um thank you. Thank you. I try my best to make this channel entertaining and whatnot. So I appreciate you and all my subscribers and people who watch. I'm just saying, look like Jindal. I don't even know who Jandal is. I will look Jandal up. But thanks. Hi, how are you? Um so I'm I'm talking about Season of Torture right now. For those who are in here or watching. But if you have any Season of Torture ideas for me to like movies, shows, whatever it may be, I will give those some thoughts. So far, I've reviewed Seventh Heaven, Dawson's Creek, Touched by an Angel, Beverly Hills 901, Beverly Hills 90210. About like the first three maybe like the first 3 or 4 Mission Impossible movies. Not 100% sure, and One Tree Hill so far. And that's all I have done so far. Starting from by the way, I started my Season of Torture with Dawson's Creek. Oh, that's a show. Jandel Range is Writer is a show. Interesting. Did not know that. I'll probably look that up. But thanks. Never heard of it. um oh, it's a gamer channel. Okay. Know nothing about it, so thanks. Fuzzio? Interesting. Anywho, what was I saying? I am, by the way, I don't know if I'm going to finish One Tree Hill because like I'm just like so tapped out from One Tree Hill that I don't even know if I plan on finishing the last 2 seasons of One Tree Hill. But if you're new, please like, share, subscribe, but mostly share and subscribe if you haven't already. And you don't have to go if you don't want to. But yeah, talk, say whatever is on your mind. It's all good. So one thing about Pretty Little Liars, I started watching it, and then I realized, oh wait, what if I made Pretty Little Liars a part of what if I did a fan theory of Pretty Little Liars as a part of the Arrowverse, and then just fell off on that. I fell out of place on that, and then never picked it up. that was the original plan for, like, I planned on reviewing Pretty Little Liars. Like, I started watching Pretty Little Liars for a review, and then I was like, oh wait, let me just rework this and make it to where Pretty Little Liars is set in the Arrowverse, and then I just fell out of sync. Same thing with um Vampire Diaries, and I think I got up to like season 6 or 7 of Vampire Diaries, and then the spin-off or like the spin-off, and then the originals. I got into the spin-off from Vampire Diaries, the originals, and then fell off of that because it was a part of the Arrowverse fan theory thingy majiggy, and I was like, and then I just got distracted. I got heavily distracted by something else, and then one thing led to another and another and another, and then just spaced on both of those completely. Also another thing I spaced out on and fell off of is Gossip Girl. I fell off and just forgot about. Sorry, my cousin was calling. I thanks. But yeah, I fell a lot off of Gossip Girl and those shows because I was like, oh wait, I could work this into the Arrowverse, because it would make more sense if I did put those shows into the Arrowverse canonically and canon, and put those shows in canon of the Arrowverse, because those would make more sense in a way. And then I just fell off. That's literally it. But getting back to topic, the next interesting show, or the next interesting season of Torture episode I did was or a season of Torture, or a part of season of Torture, was season 3, was the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies. I think I got up to 3 or 4 on that one, and then just fell off because I don't like Tom Cruise. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. Although I do like a couple Tom Cruise things, maybe a few. I'm not a big I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise movies. Although I do like Thunder although I do like Days of Thunder, and I sort of kind of like Jerry Maguire and Rain Man, and I'm iffy on the 2005 version of War of the Worlds with him in it. Although I do like Dakota Fanning. Dakota Fanning, I love. I love Dakota Fanning. I grew up on Dakota Fanning. However, I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. If that makes sense. But yeah, it it's more interesting. You know, the Mission Impossible movie franchise is decent. It's decent, slightly better than the other ones I've mentioned or have reviewed. It's it's definitely slightly more better than Beverly Hills 90210, Touched by an Angel, Seventh Heaven, and whatnot. But welcome back. Um but if you like Tom Cruise, you like Tom Cruise. Now, now let's talk about the more funnier seasons of torture, okay? Or that I've done so far. Now, the funny, I do have to say, One Tree Hill is hilariously torturous. It it's not it's it's bad, right? It's clearly bad. It's clearly terrible. But 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 what watching Seventh Heaven, I mean watching One Tree Hill for the past, I don't know how many months, is more hilarious than I've ever given it credit for. Like I did not watch these. I didn't watch Seventh Heaven. I didn't watch Beverly Hills 90210. I didn't watch um Touched by an Angel or Dawson's Creek or One Tree Hill like that. Heck, I didn't even watch I did not even watch Beverly Hills. I did not grow up watching Beverly Hills 90210. I did not grow up watching Seventh Heaven. I did not grow up watching Dawson's Creek. I did sort of kind of grow up watching Touched by an Angel, but that was about it. I mean, and that was about it. I don't know. I'm not even looking right now. But honestly, as I do have to say, One Tree Hill, as as hilariously bad as it is, wait, did I delete that or what? I'm confused. Um, as hilariously bad as One Tree Hill is, it's it oddly gets better once once Chad Michael Murray's character leaves, or Chad Michael Murray leaves the show. It oddly gets better for some odd reason. Like, granted, there's just so much a person can do before they leave, but it gets a lot more watchable after Chad Michael Murray leaves the show, if that makes sense. However, if I were to give any advice, alright, if there's any advice to be given, right, from any season of torture review videos I've done over the past, I don't know, 4 to almost 5 years now, it's think like a 10, act like a 5. And here's why, okay? Here's why. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So, thinking like a 10 is like saying, oh, I'm hot, I'm sexy, you're pretty much hyping yourself up, right? You're pretty much hyping yourself up, right? But it also gives you the confidence to be you're building your confidence up, you know, by giving by thinking like a 10. And it works. It works for anything. Let's say you have a job interview, right? And you're nervous, right? This is where the thinking like a 10 comes into play. You're hyping yourself up, you're thinking, you know, you're like, oh my god, I hope I get that. Hypothetically speaking, okay, you're nervous about the interview or whatever, you know, you're nervous as hell, right? And what you want to do, right, is hype yourself up. You know, talk about yourself like, oh, I'm hardworking, I'm this, that, and the third, right? And then make the person doing the interview, okay, you're good, no worries. Come back in when you feel like coming back in. And I hope you're being entertained. But you're pretty much like, oh, you wanna make the person laugh, but you don't wanna overdo it, you know? You wanna be funny, but you wanna be like down to earth. Now, this is where acting like a 5 comes into play. You're humbling yourself. You're kind of being realistic here, right? You're like, yeah, even if I don't get the job, I mean, I put myself out there, right? That's all that matters, right? And it also works on the ladies, just saying. It works on the ladies. It works on the ladies. Now, here's where thinking like a 10 and acting like a 5 comes into play for like flirtatiousness or whatever. Let's say you're a girl, right? And you see a guy walking, right? Make the guy laugh. Make the guy laugh. Just walk up and be like, you're really handsome. I like that shirt. It looks fantastic or something. I don't know. Make the guy smile. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing here. Now, when you act like a 5 for the guy, you're like, I'm going to say this. What you want to do is go off the cuff. Mostly. Not saying you should always go off the cuff, but you want to do it in a more cheeky way where the guy smiles and maybe chuckles, if that makes sense. Like, I like a girl who will go off the cuff. Just says the first thing that comes to their mind. However, you should not do that always. Don't do it always. Pick the time and place to, you gotta know when the right time to go off the cuff. And also, you don't want to always think like a 10 and act like a 5 all the time. But, sorry. But definitely make sure the timing of thinking like a 10 and acting like a 5 is. You gotta have that sweet, perfect timing. Okay? Now, these are the things you should not say. I'm a guy, you're a girl. I like you. You like brownies. That's that's terrible. That is some terrible. Um, that was just terrible. But um, you don't want to go off like that. You don't want to do that. That's just terrible. That's just some terrible wordplay right there. But although I have noticed that with 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 these shows, with these terrible shows, they all have that line in there. I'm a guy, I'm a girl, you're a guy. This happens. We've been doing this since we were sucking each other's binkies. I don't know. Um, like that, that's where you that's where you go. Like that's where you go with this. It's like also like I realized that's pretty much where for some odd reason Seventh Heaven has said this. One Tree Hill had a similar line to it, and um, like this line pretty much started with Dawson's Creek, and that's an okay show. As bad as it is, as bad as it is, as terrible as that show is, it's 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 pretty watchable compared to other things on the season of torture list that I have watched. But like you don't want to go off. You don't want the first line to be like, I'm a girl, you're a guy. We've been sleeping in the same bed since we were sucking each other's binkies. And sleeping and sharing each other's onesies. Like, what? Like, why? Also, these shows are something, man. These shows are something. I mean, I do have to admit, these shows are pretty. As bad as these shows are, these shows are. These things are entertaining. These shows are pretty entertaining to excuse me, to say the least. But I guess these shows are pretty doable if you wanna watch something that just rots your brain completely. But I mean, for what it's worth, it's They're decent enough in their own way. But to each their own, I guess. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far for right now. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Catch you guys on the flip side.